Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. In today's episode, we'll be talking about complaining and arguing, dealing with tough times, and the conduct and the approach we need to have in these times. We'll be reading from Philippians chapter 2, verse 14 to 15. Do everything without grumbling or arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure, children of God without fault in a warped, and a crooked generation. Then you will shine among them like stars in the sky. From these two verses, I want to focus on the grumbling, the arguing, and becoming blameless and pure. Why is this important? Where do we struggle with this? Obviously, when things are not going well in our lives, when we feel as though we're not fully aligned in terms of timing, in terms of direction, in terms of environment, we tend to get frustrated, we tend to complain, we tend to argue. The frustration can go beyond where it's meant to go, and that's obviously a problem. It's obviously an issue if it affects us, and it's an issue if it affects the people around us as well. So, do everything without grumbling or arguing. It's not to say that we should completely ignore how we feel, we should discard these feelings. We are made as such, we are made with these feelings. We are human. Simply put, we are human, and I don't think there's anything wrong with feeling these things. But what's wrong is moving with these things, leading with that grumbling, leading with that argumentative spirit, which now leaks and seeps through in your environment, in your life, in your heart, and around you. That's where the problem comes. So that you may become blameless and pure. When I talk about conduct, being being blameless and pure, is making sure that your conduct stays intact. Your conduct aligns with who we are in Christ. Even if you're frustrated, do you have to act out of frustration? You can feel it, you can process it, and that requires a certain amount of internalization to obviously understand and see exactly where it comes from. But you need to be blameless and pure in your conduct to make sure that you stay aligned. That arguing and that grumbling is usually what takes your focus away from what you should be focusing on. Let's take sports, for example. When you're running, whether it's short distance, middle, or long distance, your coach will tell you to focus on your technique. Even when it hurts, even when you want to stop, you need to focus on your technique. Why? Because your technique is what allows you to stay aligned. It prevents more problems from arising than the pain itself. If the problem limits itself to the pain, that's fine. Why? Because you're focused on your technique, you're focused on your form, and you have less problems than you would have had if you let and made room for those other problems. And that's exactly where us being blameless and pure in our conduct is very important. Just because things are tough doesn't mean that you need to make them tougher. Children of God without fault in a warped and crooked generation. It's important because our conduct isn't all about us. Why? Because when you go out there, you have an opportunity to plant a seed wherever you go. So, can you better plant a seed by being on point or by grumbling and arguing at every single opportunity you can get? Is that how you can spread the gospel? Is that how you can touch someone's life through that bad conduct? What is best? It's not to say that we need to be fake. We need to hide ourselves. I think being authentic in what you feel, through what you feel, can also allow you to touch someone. If someone is struggling with something and you can relate to that, you can be like, hey, I'm going through the same thing, but here's how I deal with this. Here's what you can do, and so on and so forth. And that's the difference. It's using what you're going through not only to better yourself, but maybe to educate someone else, and not just to argue and spread that negativity and lead someone else to argue and lead someone else to grumble with you. You go through problems together, but you do not increase in that problem. If you gathering with people, if you going into certain environments leads you to go deeper in that which you're struggling with rather than working on it, there's a problem. And that problem can either come from you or it could come from the environment you're in. But since we are now focusing on ourselves and our conduct, we need to make sure that we bring that positivity and that positive change wherever we go for ourselves and the people around us. Then you will shine among them like stars in the sky. Now, why is it important for you to shine in these situations? It's not just for yourself. It's not just for you to look good or look better than others, but it's for people to be attracted to that same light that emanates from you. People are either influenced by what's bad or what's good. Now you need to choose how you can influence people. When people see stars that are shining in the sky, they look up to those stars. But in real life, people tend to look up to other people. So when people look to you, I don't really want to say look up to, especially when we know how that can lead to idolatry, etc. But if someone is looking to you for something, maybe it's advice or maybe it's inspiration or motivation, what do they get from you? How do they get inspired? Are you leading them towards the light or are you leading them towards darkness? And this is where and why we need to understand that our conduct, us being blameless and us being pure, goes way beyond us. When we are representing Christ through what we do, it's not just for us, but it's for everybody else that can benefit from this. That's why and how God uses people to reach other people. And the people that are being used to reach others need to be blameless and need to be pure in the way they reach out and in the way they inspire, in the way they motivate, and in the way they teach these people. That's why it's so important for us to check ourselves. Again, when we talk about being blameless and pure, it's not about being perfect. We are born as sinners, okay? We have a sinful nature, okay? I'm not saying that you can only impact people by being perfect or by putting on a mask or being fake, but by doing your best and by making sure that your conduct is as good as it can possibly be. That's how eventually we can help each other move in the right direction and not enforce and not encourage each other in our already bad ways due to our sinful nature. Hope you guys learned something from this. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys next time.